Hello friends! Today we wanted to talk about and cover one thing that I didn't realize was such a big deal until I started talking to families, is the relationship and how to teach your own kid. I know that it's a little daunting at first, considering that your child has a completely different behavior, completely different respect for the school, for the building, you know, how they act inside the building, how they act inside the classroom, how they raise their hand. All that stuff is instilled in them since, pre-K. That's one of the biggest things to walk away from pre-K and kindergarten is instilling the routine. You know, we wash our hands, we raise our hand, we have respect, we don't hit our friends, you know, we line lead, you do something good, you get a sticker chart, you know, all those things are really foundational for how to react and interact in the classroom. So for you as a parent, you're going to notice there's a stark difference at first. Even the most well-meaning child is going to have kind of a tough transition, getting to a point where they feel that they can, talk to you the same as they would an instructor. Really, it's a process of relearning, not easy. Tough transition. Everything's transition. And when it comes to transitioning, it means that you're going to have to give grace. So first thing I would say to do is to write out some clear expectations for your classroom. I had said in another video that one of the smartest things you can do is create a learning place in the home so that they can know that when they come into this place, we're not talking about chores anymore. We're not talking about sibling stuff. We're talking about education. So, and it's a different, it's like a different hat they're putting on. So it's time to put on the hat of education. And so they have to treat you the same as they would treat their teacher. Well, they don't know that unless you say it. So you have to sit them down and have it's the same thing. Do I have that book with me? Harry Wong is, I know it's a funny name, but Harry Wong wrote a very good classroom management book. So, and you won't think of yourself as like a teacher and you need a classroom management book, but you kind of do because it's a new thing and you can't go into it cold thinking, they're just going to listen to me and everything's going to be rosy. It would be smart to just take a moment and be like, okay, what does a real teacher do? Like, what did they learn when they went to all those classes? So classroom management, you sit down, you give clear expectations from the beginning. There's no way to revamp them halfway through the year. It needs to be from the start, from the very first moment, from the very first time you open your mouth in front of them. Just be like, okay, here is the rules, and that's going to create structure. Kids really thrive in structure, in an environment that has structure. They thrive in that environment, so it's really smart for you to create it. Just do it. You'll love it. You'll be happy you did. One of my tips is to get a whiteboard. One of my tips is to have clear expectations written out on the board. And then it says, what it is that we expect in this classroom. Raise your hand. Bathroom time isn't any time. Snack time isn't any time. It's like structured time. So you can wait. You're going to have to wait to get your snack, or you're going to have to wait to go to the bathroom till the bell rings. When we first transitioned into homeschooling, my daughter was 3rd grade. And one of the things I did is morning announcements to try to make it feel like what's normal. We did Pledge of Allegiance. That made it feel normal. It felt kind of weird at first, but I saw so much benefit in it because then it did. I saw her turn her thinking cap off. She doesn't need to be snuggle laying on my shoulder anymore. Instead, she's sitting in her seat, raising her hand, and participating, Okay, so later I'm going to make a video called Learning Styles, how to teach to your specific child's learning styles. So that's something to give a thought. But right now we're going to talk about how to teach your own kid. Number 1 is the clear expectations. Write it down on the board. Number 2, I would say the most important thing after creating it is to instill it and then stick to it. It's gonna feel weird. You just gotta go for it. Just be like, oh, sorry, we said not until 101. Just wait a little bit longer, please. They do the same thing in the classroom. Once they figure out that a teacher is meaning business, then they'll be like, okay, I guess I'll wait till 101. Then I can be released. Then that's my recess time. So at first, it's a tough transition for moms and kids. So I would just keep to the rules. I'll write it down. Keep to the rules. Number 3. Okay, so now you have created a classroom. You created an environment. You gave clear expectations to the kids. So if you have a multiple kid situation, it's even more important that you keep to the schedule, keep to the routine, so that they all fall in line. Nobody gets special treatment. You know, if everybody gets special treatment, then everybody wants the special treatment. It's kind of like in our family. I grew up in a large family, and I was the oldest of those 6 kids. And the way that it's kind of run is a little bit similar to like camp style rules, or like basic training, where up 2, 3, 4, mom said better move, do it now. It's like a group mentality. If one kid gets specialized treatment, they're all gonna want it. So it's more like we're all part of the body, and we're all gonna do our part. We all have a role to play. So if you have kids, I wouldn't do specialized instruction too terribly much. But I'll make a video about that, specialized instruction. Okay, how to teach your own kid. Number 4, I want you to be of a mind that they're not going to respect you in the same way, not at first. So if you are expecting a little bit of pushback, you can have everything set up in advance so that you can reward good behavior. So on a reward system, sticker chart, if everybody completes their reading, they get to do popsicles. A reward system's pretty imperative, especially with anything under 5th grade, really. So be of a mind of getting a lot of stickers. If you are needing stickers, let me know. I got lots of stickers. I'll send them to you, to my local friends. But get that reward system underway so that you can feel really confident, feel like you know exactly what to expect. And then lastly, I had touched on mental health before. So until the child is feeling pretty happy, at peace, not upset, not stressed out, they won't really be able to soak in any material. So a good rule of thumb is to just kind of take everybody's temperature, emotional temperature at the beginning of the day, and just be like, okay, are we all ready to learn? Did anybody have did they have a nightmare? Did they have a bad morning? Let's make sure we're all ready to learn. So like a check on learning. I had teachers where they had bracelets that had 4 colors in the bracelet, and then you would point to the color that you wore that day, and it was like yellow, red, green. Green means go for learning, blue means sad, red means angry, and yellow means something like maybe anxious or something. And so you would point. That way it wasn't really too terribly invasive, like, hey, you, tell me how you're feeling. But instead it was like, is everybody ready? Are we good? You green, go? I also had some magnets that had happy faces on them. And then I would have everybody give me thumbs up, thumbs down in the classroom. And I would point to the happy face and be like, okay, raise your hand or give me a thumbs up if you're here, here, here. And it would be like a happy face, a sad face, and a meh, a meh. And then I could find out if anybody's having a hard time. In which case, I maybe adjust a little bit. Instead of like, maybe if we were supposed to perform that day and we were supposed to do skits or read out loud, instead I'll just read out loud, and then they don't have to do it, and then it's a little bit easier to digest. So teaching your own kid has a lot more to do about your relationship already. If you were having difficulties in your relationship prior to the shutdown, I would address those with a counselor, with a third party member. I would read some books. If your child is dealing with grief, if your child is dealing with loss, bullying, if that's what was something that was an issue before, I would get books in that category. Let me know if you need something in specific, because I can give you what I got. But or at least I can send you an Amazon link. In all my life, $10, it'd be $10 for me to no longer have whatever that problem was that I was dealing with. So I pay the $10 to christianbook.com, Amazon, whatever, to get the book, to understand, and then I won't have that problem anymore. So I have some recommendations. If you email me specifics about what your child is struggling in, if they're like dealing with sadness, or they're angry, or they're stressed, or they have anxiety, or if they're dealing with anger, all these things are, there's tips for them. So we'll do that more directly. All right, so that is my starting point. Have healthy expectations for yourself and for them, because it's all weird. None of us know what we're doing. Keep to the rules. Try to do some specialized instruction based on their individual needs. We'll talk about that later. and then a reward system. Okay, have a good rest of your day.